trying to get the chugs on. Gotta get the arm loose, okay? Get it all loose. Get all those chunkies and the left, rights, and maybe, some of them downstrokes. There you go. Now you're feeling it here. All right, so I had this idea the other day, and remember we're talking about on the other channel, there is no box. The other channel's youtube.com/at the real Al Silva. I don't know who else is out there, but that's the real account. That's me, sort of, Al Silva. Anyway, so I was like, man, I have these song ideas all the time, right? I was like, I should just do a live stream where I'm making a song, because I get asked all the time, like, how do you make a song? Like, because some people, they're musicians, but they find it hard to make a song or put something together from start to finish. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, I start, and I have ideas. I tell them kind of my process, but it's easier to show than tell, or both, I guess, at the same time in this case. But so I have some riffs. I have like a few different riffs. They realistically, half of them may not fit in the same song, but it was just like, oh, I like that riff. What else could I do? It's like when you can take one technical thing, one riff, and you could change it to have different forms. You know what I mean? Think of like different faces or something, or transformations. I don't know what you need to put in your head, but the same core, but different forms, right? And so basically, I have two specific different things. I have an intro idea, but the idea could go like a couple different ways. And then I have like kind of the build up, and then I want it to get into this heavy part. So it's like I have these concepts. I have concepts of plans, okay? And now I'm going to take that, and we're going to take the Play-Doh right here, and then we're going to mold it together right here on this video, or at least for the next like hour and a half or so. I got to go get Mario for band practice after this anyway, so let's get started. So let me show you the idea, and then I have two variations of the idea. So I assume nobody's gonna be here like right now, and you're gonna see this afterwards, and you're like, oh wait, I can't have input now. But that's just how it is. So like, for example, the intro, clean intro. I'm thinking super clean intro. And I was just jamming the other day, and I had that. I was like, oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, what would be next? That's what I ask myself all the time. Like, for the music, it's just like, how do you put something to... It's like, just find one part, one thing. You're like, I like this thing. And then ask yourself, what would be next? What comes next? What's after? Like, not the whole thing, oh, I got to plan out the whole song. No. Just do one part, like it. What's next? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to go, like, down. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, there. And then I was like, man, I want it to be slow. We're punk, we're pop punk, whatever. We got all these songs. They're like, no. I was like, man, I just want to slow down. I can't slow down no more. I was like, slow. So I thought it should go like, this is where the paths deviate. There's a 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not quite sure which way to go with this. But this is, version A, option A here. Boom. Clean. Easy, right? Like, oh, hey, God, I could chill to that. I could sit down, grab me one of these fake cigarette things that is just flavored air, and sip on nothingness to that. And I agree. But there's that pause, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3. And I kind of like that. That's option A. Option B, because I was trying to do two guitars, I was like, oh, well, how would two guitars sound to this? And sometimes you just don't want them to sound different. Sometimes you do want them to sound different. Sometimes you don't. Depends on the situation, the song, the flavor, all that stuff. But anyway, I was adding the second guitar, and I was like, oh, what's the next note after, like, where is it? And it's... So then I was like, well, it would have to be a 4, right? So then this is version B. You see? It's the same, but it's different, right? The flow is different. It's different, but it's the same exact thing, okay? That's what happens a lot in the creation of a song is like, I have an idea, but just because you have this idea doesn't mean it's like concrete, like, oh, man, I can't do nothing with it. It's like concrete before you let it dry, you know, and you can form it into different things. So one of those two we're going to have to do. I kind of want to play along to some drums to figure out which one that'll be. But the idea is clean intro, big build-up intro, make it harder. And I'm like maybe deviating into a little bit of hardcore at this point. But same riff, so let's pretend it's version A, you know. And then... aggressive vocals, you know. I'm saying words. I'm saying these words. I'm saying these words. These words. These words I'm saying. You know, something like that. So then build up, and then I'm like, wouldn't it be funny to build up to a breakdown? You're like, I just got here. This is the intro. Why would you build up to a breakdown? I don't know. I feel like that'd be cool. So what happens if the breakdown was the chorus? See? Do you see what I mean? Like, these are just ideas. This is Play-Doh. There is no box, right? Just think ideas. This is how you make music, people. Start with one thing and say, what's next? What's next? Don't think about what the end's going to be. Sometimes you have an idea. Sometimes you start from the end, you work your way to the beginning, but it doesn't matter. You start with one thing, go to the next thing. So that's going to be the build-up. Then I want it to be something heavy as a breakdown. Got a couple ideas, and this is where the riffs get nuts. So I'm thinking the breakdown chorus would be something slow, open, heavy, you know? So it's maybe something like that. But then I play that riff, and I'm like, man, I got like 10 variants of that same riff. But they all can't fit there. So maybe I can bring in some sort of solo or bridge part or something like that. But, like, these are the variations of that part. So it'd be like I love this one, too. Let me think of the slow one. It's like... Oh, man. There's a couple here. I was just sitting there. I was like, man, that's like 7 different... little offbeat little thing, or this. This one sounds like it would be a verse or something. I'm not sure. Something like that. I don't know what that might be the solo. You know, make Dylan do it. Whatever he's doing, you know. I don't know. But that's why it's Play-Doh. So then, whatever that chorus breakdown is, and we can go 2 different ways too, because I'm thinking, oh man, I could just do like because it feels like this would be the chorus to me. That's why that breakdown's like not even a chorus. What happens if we pretend it's a chorus, but then there's just there's only one chorus that's at the end of the song? Maybe that's it, you know? Maybe it's like because I was thinking this would be the chorus, but it's the I'm using it as a verse. crazy, you know, like words, substitute for real words, but something like that. So I don't know. That's the bones of this song. I have no concepts beyond this. A couple ideas in a big bag. So I'm going to go through my process of how I write music. This is how I write songs. Like in real thing, all the songs I've written before this is how I do it. I'm going to show you guys. You guys are on the inside scoop here. Let's bring the infinite universe of me here. There we go. Nice. But gotta get that out of the way here. Oh, where's GarageBand? There it is. Okay. So I was just jamming on it before here just to make sure everything worked properly. All right, so the first thing I want to do, let's just start. This is a brand new Garage. I'm using GarageBand. You're like, oh, you're using GarageBand? What are you, real lame? No, I'm poor. There's a difference, okay? There's a difference. Yeah, I'd like Logic. Sure, that'd be sweet. It's $300, okay? And I'm not a pirate no more. That I left that life, okay? I left that life. I'm trying to get legit here. So no, I get GarageBand. That's what I get. It's free. It's pretty good once you get all the bells and whistles. Now, normally I would just start with a clean guitar that I would add a virtual amp to, but because I'm doing this live stream, I found like when I was testing, there was just this mega delay between that and everything. It was just driving me nuts. So I was like, man, what can I do? I could just plug in my real amp, just plug that thing in, and then I can't change the tone, I can't change the distortion or the effects, I can't change anything, but it's just for this concept of a video, so I figured that's how it's going to be. I would never record a song just plugged straight in from my amp. I would never do that. Don't do that, okay? You're going to want to plug in a clean guitar or get yourself one of these DI boxes. I don't have it right next to me, but it's a little splitter, essentially. You plug in your guitar, and it can go into two things. Run it back into your amp, and then run it clean into your audio interface. That's the best way to do it, best of both worlds. But today you get the worst of all worlds because that's just how it has to be. Now, I was thinking slow, so I was really thinking 60 beats per minute. But I realized that may just be like that intro, that build up, and most of the song is in 120. So I'm going to do 120, and then we'll just have to do halftime to get that 60 beats per minute feel here. So I could do it with a click track, but to be honest, it's way easier to play along with a drummer, but only if the drummer's a computer, okay? So that way it gets all the beats right. You know what I mean? You know drummers, right? So you need like, you know, perfection on 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So go with a digital computer dude, okay? And they have all these ones in GarageBand. Look at all these. Look at all these pop rock, hard rock, rock, pure rock, funk rock, and this is just rock. They have alternative singer-songwriter, whatever you want. So this is beyond just making punk, metal music, whatever I'm making here. You could do all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm thinking this is hard. It's pretty hard. So I'm going to go with a hard rock dude. I want him to have a heavy hand preset, and then this is where you can get all sorts of funky, okay? So towards the top, moving your ball, that makes things louder. He'll hit things harder, this virtual drummer. Towards the bottom, he'll hit it softer, be a little more gentle. Everything's the same tempo. You left that there. Then left is simpler and right is more complex. So like if you have like a drummer that, you know, you want to make sure the songs work for them because you don't want to complicate it too much, just go ahead and put that thing on simple. Put it all the way on the left. And then you could just make it loud or soft. So that way it's like, hey, man, I'm not making nothing complicated for you. This guy said it was simple. I mean, you don't think a computer could beat you on simple, right? That's how you get your drummers to do it. Or if you're nuts or you want to push your drummer to the max, put it on complex. Look at all these extra notes it just added. Do you see that? Yeah, it's going to get nuts. Okay, so if you want to put your drummer through the ringer, put it on complex. You can see the difference here. Simple, he keeps it simple. Complex, he lets it out. I'm going to just start dead center right here. Let's see what we're working with first. Ooh, that's heavy. It's at 80, though. How did it get to 80? I don't know how it got to 80. I don't remember changing that. Again, but faster. sounds funky. It's not necessarily what I'm going for, but that's pretty cool. Now, what happens if we wanted some toms? I want to see what he's doing on the toms here. Bring it back. It's a little too jumpy for me. I need like a... And I kind of need a halftime for this intro. Because like I said, it's really 60. That sounds kind of cool. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I let the drummer go. I don't know how long I'm going to be riffing on it, but we're just trying to get chunks. Once we get the chunks down, then we can be like, all right, this chunk goes here, this chunk goes there. We can start to piece it together and then do a rough, dry run of the basic idea of the whole thing of the song, and then we can make sure all the drums line up to that. So let's start with this. This would be the intro, right? Clean. I'm going to start with version A because I think version A is pretty good, but I can see version B. I'm not quite sure yet. Anyway, let's go ahead and rip it up. We're going to want that. Always put that metronome on, even with the clicker. Just do it. Get used to the click. Oh, and you can't record over a fake drummer. You got to record over a real drummer. All right, here we go. And there's a large delay, so I need to like click it out first. Here we go. That's an intro right there for you. You could just tell it's like a big old buildup. You're like, ding, 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 ding. And have you ever, all right, come on, I'm not the only one that's ever seen anything live, right? You're seeing something for the first time or even hearing it, but it's just different when it's like live because then it's even more powerful. Like, you guys don't understand. You got to go see live shows. If you're not seeing live shows, you're only getting like 1/4 of the picture, okay? Most of it, you got to be in the room. Okay, you got to be in the room listening to this stuff coming out of the real things. It's just not the same, trust me. So anyway, you'll listen to a band, you're like, oh, man, I like that. That's a good, oh, and it's building up. And you're like, man, I can feel this build up. I can feel this hype up. I can feel this energy being contained, and it has to be released. And then they go to release it, and it's just like, it doesn't work. However they dropped that, however they decided to do whatever part after that, it's just an instant letdown. So if I'm going to build a big old intro like this, a big old bum, 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 whatever we go into after this has to have a payoff. It has to. Without the payoff, I mean, it's just going to deflate. You'll deflate like a, oh, this song sucks. You're going to think this song sucks right after the intro if you don't get the good payoff. So it's key. So let's get back to this, back to business. So the first thing we got to do, because there's a severe delay between GarageBand, you guys probably hear it too, because I just can't regulate everything. This is nuts. Like, I'm literally working with a MacBook Air, a 2020 MacBook Air M1, and the boy's a beast. The boy's an absolute beast. He handles everything, but, like, man, I'm trying to do a lot of stuff with this boy, and I think he's like, oh, man, Dad, I'm struggling. It's okay, son. It's okay. Maximum power, my boy. You're doing just fine. So eventually we got to upgrade this thing, but not just yet. We can work with the M1. All right, let's bring it back. So you see these nubs? That was when I was clicking. So I can go. So I align with the metronome. The metronome is just doing the beats as you see here digitally. So all you have to do is move this back. And I'm pretty sure it's a 250 millisecond delay. It's nuts. It's nuts, bro. What do you want me to do? So now I can see it's lined up. It's pretty lined up here. I kind of go towards the end because it usually takes you a second to really get the click rhythm in there. All right, this looks pretty good. All right, so let's see if it came in. Ooh. Now, anytime you're recording guitars, you got to do 2 guitars. Like, I mean, you could do 1 guitar and like a bass, which actually sounds kind of sick now that I'm thinking about it for that part. Because I wouldn't play anything. Like, when I make songs, I'm even imagining playing them live. Usually, most of the time, I'm like, how is that going to work live? Not like in the sense of like, how do I make this song work live? It's just I'm imagining playing it live, and in my head, I always go with like the best case scenario. I'm always thinking like 10,000 people in the crowd, and they're jumping around to this or they're running around to this. Like, that's what in my head. I'm never thinking, oh yeah, 10 people at the Diesel or something. No, I'm thinking, because I think the potential is there, personally. I know I'm biased, but that's just how I feel. So anyway, let's record 2 guitars and see how we can do this without being, like, really off on the timing here. Second guitar time. Oh, no. Dang it. Whatever track you're highlighting, it's going to record over that. So it was starting to record over my drums, or my guitar. Drop. Bass drop, too. Got to have a... I'm telling you, can't go into the chorus because I think the chorus is probably... Because I have a melody for that, too. So I think it just goes right to a breakdown. You're thinking, oh, it should have went to a chorus. Nope. I go to a breakdown. Why not? Why not go straight to a breakdown? I'm thinking it's like here. Line it up. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, now let's hear it with 2. Well, you guys already heard it with 2, but not me. All right, let's see. I kind of want the bass to do more. Mara's like, I want a break, dude. Make them do like something nuts, like it's like a whole run. It's almost a bass solo. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh man, I think these parts might be too long. Like that, the clean and the thing, it sounds like you're going too many bars. The reason being is because I think it's like the only verse is the intro. This song is just set up weird in my head. That's just how it is. The only verse is the intro. And I've done this before with like Failed to Thrive, where if there's only one verse, the verse is a little bit longer. Because you could have had 2 verses, but instead you get a verse and a half. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking for this one. So the intro is just like a lot of words, words. I don't know what the words are, but words, very softly spoken. Maybe even talking. I'm thinking, because Mario showed me this one song, and it was like hardcore-esque, and he's talking, blah, blah, blah. And then when he gets to the heavy part, he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like that stuff. So that was I'm like, man, yeah, the soft spoken stuff. I'm really speaking softly now, and then the distortion. You know what I mean? And get really out there with that. So that sounds like it'd be good. We got plenty of time. All right. So that's part A. Now, the problem is we got to keep everything in the same tempo. I know some bands out there, they're like, oh, man, we just let the tempo flow, bro. We just go wherever the song takes us. No, dude. Okay, unless your song is literally meant to change tempos, it should be one tempo the whole time. Now, you could do half time, quarter time, double time. You can get all sorts of funky stuff like that. You can even change the time signature, okay? But for the most part, the way you start a song is the way it should be. Think about the last time you heard music or the next time you're going to hear music in the car on the radio and try to find that tempo. And then just beat along to it. I don't know if I can say that. But you know what I mean. And you'll find you're like, dang, it stayed the same way the whole time. It does. That's how it's supposed to be, okay? If your variations are going like this, it's usually because somebody, I'm not saying it's the drummer, but most of the time it's the drummer, has those tempo variations. And so you're just kind of letting it free ball wherever it goes. It needs to. Come on, fellas. So now I have wrote songs before where it's like I feel the riff is at a certain tempo. For instance, A Guy Like Me, okay? The whole song is in like 130, and then just the outro, I don't know why just the outro, that's the way it felt. I had to raise it to like 180. It didn't even make sense, but it feels right for the song. It sounds good. So that's just how it is. This song I want to keep at 120. I just want to play with the variance of 120. So now that we have that big build-up here, I want right here to like change to that quarter time. So what I'm doing is splitting this drummer track in half. The easiest way you could right-click and do all sorts of stuff. You got to learn the keyboard shortcuts, okay? And the main one you need is Command-T. That boy splits. Command-T. So I'm splitting right here, and I'm going to move this section of the drums a little bit back. So that way I make sure it has a good definitive hit on that beat where it's going to start right there. Oops. I always forget that. So anyway, right here. This is a drummer track, Virtual AI Drummer. I chopped it by hitting Command-T, and then I moved it back by dragging the end here, so that way it has a little bit of room. So now you see that definitive hit right there. If you double-click it, that's how it brings up all these options to do drummer stuff, okay? So here, I'm going to want something different. I want something like splashy, slow and splashy, like something like that, okay? Something like that. So we already know we're going to need cymbals, and I'm thinking half time. So let me see here. Ooh, yeah. That's kind of exactly what I was thinking. Good job. What's your name, sir? Anders. Good job, Anders. So this is where I was thinking, like, maybe it would just be an open chord instead of complicating it, but I could complicate it. I really could. So let me see. I'm going to just do version A, which is open chords, and then we're going to see if maybe some closed chords would work well there too. But it has to be something where I could bass drop the boy, you know? Let's back it up a bit. Line up. It's clean. No. Anticlimactic. Like, that's what I'm saying. You get to that part and it's just clean. Let down. like that. Because I'm thinking that transition, that's how I could take me into that part that we're like, man, it could be the solo, it could be something else. I don't know, but because I'm thinking it would go. Yeah, like or maybe bum bum bum. Something, bro. I'm telling you, this is nuts. They're like, you can't do this. You're punk. Stop it. I can do whatever I feel like. Getting ready. All right. Let's line it up. Put a second guitar on that boy. Honestly, it looks like I was early, which is semi-impossible. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I wasn't early. Was it? Oh, because I was sliding in. I was sliding in there. Hang on, let me see. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I think maybe a little farther back. All right. Other guitar. Dupe it. Other side. I like my left side to be the old me and the right side to be the new me. I don't know. That's what I prefer. But you got to get good and synchronized, so whatever makes it easier for you. All right. Other guitar, go. Heavy, bro. We need that bass drop pedal. Need it. All right. How am I early? That's crazy. I don't believe it for a second. Oh, no. It's because I didn't start until right after that. What? Oh, no. I was changing the wrong guitar. I was like, what the heck? That was the guitar with the slide. All right, this is the one that's heavily delayed. Heavily. Right here. If I was good, that's where it lines up. Right there. All right, I want to redo that first part of this one because now I feel like the slide's distracting. Easy fix. Make this new me. Make that old me. Boom, baby. All right, sync it up. It'd be cool if GarageBand did that automatically. I'm sure that's a function of more high-end stuff, but If I'm synchronizing with clicks there. Dun, 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 dun. Something like this. Let me see. Let's look at, that's good to have like parts that you don't do anything, so you can really line this up here. All right, now let's see it without both of these having weird little beginning parts. Boop, boop. All right. There's a clear delay. Boom. On the left. Was it on the left? Hang on, let me see. Like, this guy's so late. Right here. I know they're both me, but you're going to have to drag that back there. Let me see. There we go. And then I think because that's just, it's faking them out. It's not really the chorus. It's the breakdown. They're like, why would they break down the chorus? That makes sense. You would go back into verse 2 here. So like we could do a verse 2 and just do it not as long as verse 1. Because verse 1's an intro, so it's a build-up. So verse 2 could just be a quicker variation of that. I don't know how many bars because I'm literally making this live on the fly, but I would do half the amount of bars. So we're going to end this one here. That beat right here. That needs to be that old tom beat from the beginning. See this point right here? Copy it. Paste it. Oh, look what I did. Command C. Command V. Come on, guys. You can do this. Follow along with your own song here. They're like, I'm copying your song literally bar for bar. I'm showing you how to do it. All right. So now we're going to bring that back. Let's see how that's going. Yeah. So now we just need to do it like half the amount of times. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on this track. And yeah, that should I screwed up the end there, but that's because I was thinking, oh, well, this part would be where you'd put this divergent thing, like what's going to take us to the guitar solo, the speed up part, the double time part. But before we get there, we got to record one more guitar, so let's do that. Bring back these by a significant amount. I'm thinking here-ish. Let me see. No, like here. That sounds good. All right, do it again. Do it again. But on the other side. Got it. Dang it, I always do that where I highlight the last track. Again. kind of want to do the double time thing there, but let's see. Line it up. Out to dry. Something like this. Something like that. Looking pretty good. Where the distorted part comes in. A little early, a little late. Something like that. Like that. Sweet. All right. But this part needed, see how it's literally half as long? So let's chop it right here. Boom. Highlight. Command T. Chop it up. Then get rid of it. Don't need it. Bring back the splashy part. Command C. Put it where my dial is. My thing. Command V. Look at the process, people. This is what it takes to be efficient. You know how many years I spent, like, just doing everything like, bro. Bro. Can't do all that now. All right. I want to make sure this has a nice, clean beginning. So I'm just going to scoot it back a little bit. Looks clean. All right. The other thing I need to do is chop the distorted parts off of the clean parts. Since I'm doing everything on one guitar, you can see how much louder the distortion is than the clean. So I need to make a distorted track and then a clean track, because the rest of the song should be in distortion. Unless I throw in some like crazy one-off clean part. I don't know. Anything goes at this point. Quite literally anything. So let's go ahead and get to chopping here. I'm going to chop this part. Good thing it has a nice clean break, so then I can just go in there. Find the cleanest place to chop. And you can see here, I'm off. I'm off, okay? If I was doing this as a real song, like, oh man, this is going to be something I want other people to listen to, even though you people are listening to it right now, bro, I would re-record that. And I'd re-record it a billion times until I get to that part being... Obviously, you can move it, but then you have to move everything, bro. I'd rather just re-record it until I don't have to move it. It's more work to move it. That's nuts, right? We'll just make this bottom one distorted, since this whole middle is distorted, I think. Just clean it up. I'm highlighting. Command T. Boop. Boop. All right. Let's go ahead and put these down there. Except for it's weird. I guess it doesn't matter. All right. We have distortion over here too. Do-do-do. Oops. Oops. There we go. Distortion kicks in. I don't know what the words are going to be, but I know it has to be something heavy. You know, you get through the bum, 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 bum. Words. Whatever that word is. Words, words, words. It's got to be heavy. It's just got to be. Oh, no. Oof. Almost moved it. All right, so these are probably fine. Let me listen. Yeah, that sounds great. These have to be way lower. Let's just do like -5 for now. Boo-doo-doo. Yeah, -5. -5, -5. All right. Let's chop these beginning parts. And honestly, what's so funny is, like, a lot of times I like to start the songs with the drums, because then it gives it gives an immediate sense of tempo and timing and beat and everything, rhythm. But then it gives you a second, like, this song is going to do something to you, you know, or whatever. So I kind of like that. Because then you can extend it for as long as you want. When you're live, you go like, oh, dude, Garrett, play this like 10 times until I give you the signal. I'm going to say the words and then do that. Well, let's see here. I'm going to probably start it. Now, these aren't the final drums, but it gives us a rough idea. So I don't think you'd start the words yet, and that's why it needs twice as many. I think you'd start the words coming up here, something like this. love it, bro. I already want to add the bass. I already want to be. We're more than halfway through the song. Realistically, all this song needs left is some sort of solo, and I want it to be a double time thing. And then you just put a final chorus on there, and you could do an outro. But the final chorus is just one of these things, and I think the final chorus, we finally do one chorus of the... They're going to be like, what? This doesn't make any sense. That's just how it is. So I think that's how it is. So let's grab the bass, because now I want to throw some bass down. It's bass time. There's chords everywhere. King Solomon. There you are, son. Let's get the green boy. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, bro. Problem is, gotta go direct. And you gotta tune it. It's essential. Let me tell you a story about this bass while I'm tuning this. Story time. How did I get this green bass? In my last band, I was in a thrash metal, surf metal. I don't know. We wanted it to be heavy. We had thrashy stuff, surfy stuff. It was really weird. It was called Vertical Killing Machine. I know, really brutal. Really brutal. We weren't that brutal, but it would have evolved to be more brutal if we would have kept it going. Anyway, for the longest time, it was just me and Dylan. A two-piece band. Yes, like the White Stripes, but the White Stripes of metal. You get what I'm saying here? So we just did shows by ourselves. And we were always looking for a drummer. I played the drums. I didn't want to. I enjoyed it, though. I love playing the drums. I just didn't want to do it on stage. I like doing it here. Just drum. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, I kind of like playing on stage, too, but I knew I would be better utilized on the actual instruments I know how to play, which is mostly guitar, but the bass, if you want to make it like a pseudo guitar, is pretty easy. If you want to play it like a bass, then it's hard. If you want to play it like a less guitar, it's easy. But true basses are like, no, it's not easy. Yes, okay, yes, absolutely. If you play this thing as it's meant to be played for itself, oh yeah, dude, you can jazz this. I mean, have you ever heard of Primus or anything, dude? Like, of course. This stuff can get really complicated quick. But in metal, or even punk, you don't need it to do too much different than the guitar. But it does stand out when you do. For instance, Green Day, right? Was it Mike Dirnt? It's like, has the rhythm, he has what the underlying tone is, but then he'll pop his head out. He'll like, doo-doo-doo. Like he'll add a little something, a little trill at the end, and you're like, oh, there's the bassist. And that's pretty sweet, which is the best of both worlds. And in my band, we got this guy named Mario now, and he does that too. But anyway, so we're this two-piece metal band, and for the longest time trying to find a drummer, we eventually found a bassist. I was like, well, shoot, that'll sound better than just guitar and drums, you know? So we found this bassist named Robert, and awesome dude. And he was ordering his own bass. He was ordering a bass off Amazon, this bass. And then it came to him, and he had two in the same box. It's like you had to be, like, severely not capable of thinking much if you're like, guitar 1, guitar 2, this is good. You know what I mean? Like, you had to be like, what? Unless it was an inside job, I don't know. But they shipped him 2 guitars, so he's like, bro, I got another guitar. I'll sell you this one for $100, which is half or a third of the amount. I was like, oh, heck yeah, bro. Are you kidding me? Look at this. It's great. That's crazy. So I got this for $100 because Jeffrey was so nice. Jeffrey Bezos, thank you. What a good guy. Bass time. Now, because the bass is straight up, I'm going to do a new audio track. We're going to make it completely different. Track 2. Nope. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, it's bass. I have this plugin that's just absolutely bonkers. You won't hear it until the recording goes live, or like after I'm done recording it. But it's, you know, that SansAmp pedal for bassists. It's like it makes everything sound amazing, and you could just DI right off of it because it's an amp simulator as well. They have a digital version, which is nuts, and it's from TSE Audio. And it's called the BOD pedal. Look at this thing. Let me show you it. That's the SansAmp. That's literally the SansAmp. Oh, I keep forgetting I got to hit that damn button. This is the BOD, okay? This is the SansAmp plugin. This is free. And you're going to hear how this sounds here in a second, but it's really good. This was the tone I had for Mario. Bass setup 2, I think it was here. Something like that. We're going to mess with that here in a second, but you won't be able to hear it until after we lay down the track. So let's lay down something. I'm thinking for the intro, bass is super laid back. I don't even know if I want Mario playing. I don't know. Because think about it. No. What is it? Where is it? No, it's down. I want it to be heavy. Mario has to be heavier than we are. Because we're doing... What's this? I need it heavier, bro. I wish I had the B string. Because I think it should be... It's going to have to be 3 because I can't go any lower than open E. But I feel like I want to go lower with the bass. But we're going to make it work. Record it up. I don't know. Sounds like he would do something else. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like boo, boo. I'm thinking there's in between notes. You know, it's like boo, boo, doo, doo, boo, doo, doo. Oh yeah. It's reminding me of another song I already have a riff for, but yeah, 2, 1. It just needs a little bit of something to spice up that part, but all that other stuff sounded pretty good here. Scoot it back quite severely, something like that. Split it up. And keep going. None of those sound right. I'm going to just stick to the roots. We'll stick to the roots for now until we can figure out something else. But sometimes you're just like, man, it needs a little something. and you can't figure out that something, then don't sit on it for too long. Just go ahead and move forward. You can always come back. And maybe recording something else gives you an idea for that something. So we're just going to record the root and then come up with something later. Why the tracks. You see how off it is? What happened to it? What happened? It's way over here. It's gonna go way back. Something like this. Bum 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 bum. Boo doo 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 ding ding ding. That first bass hit, you can tell, is like absurdly loud right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to compress the crap out of it, to be honest, anyway. This is a lesson for another day. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up a compressor. We'll talk about those later. Different day, different time, longer video. Because I got to go get Mario. But anyway, we're going to go here. To these loud parts, that's fine. And we're going to reduce it. Start with a 4-to-1 ratio. Increase threshold. You're going to have to release on auto. That should be a good squeeze. All right. Pretty nice. All right, the next part, we need like something that's like fast. I mean, I got the bass plugged in, so we might as well start with the bass. But like, let's see what double time sounds like at 120. And that'll tell us what we need. That'll tell us what we need to do. I'm thinking we almost bring in a new drummer. And that's another benefit. You don't need to, oh, I got to do this whole song with the same dude. Nope. Go ahead and do new drummer track. Just delete that. This new drummer, I want him to be kind of punk. A little punk rock there. Slide this all the way to where we need it. Okay, we're going to want it to start on that one there. Boom. All right, so now we're just going to hit. So on the bottom, you see these? These are different variants of the same beat. And then you can either do half time of that beat and then double time. So we're going to do double time of the first beat here, angled up. Let me see what this sounds like here. Sounds pretty happy. It sounds like instantly I can just tell, like, man, that sounds like a happy beat. We can't sound happy. Oh, hang on. Let me just change the beat here. Can't sound happy. I need to sound mad. Liberty Spikes. Maybe with hi-hat and double time. Let me see this one. I almost want to, like, bring this back to here. Something like this. Let me see. It just sounds happy, doesn't it? Or in my head, I'm hearing a lot of happy stuff. It wouldn't fit the song very well. Oh, maybe make Mario do like some sort of bass solo. Just completely change it. Oh, no. No. Of course it records over. You know what I wanted. Just give me a new duplicate track. All right. We're just going to make something up. I don't even know if I'm going on the right beat. It's easier with the drummer than it is the click. That's why I usually like both, but especially with the bass. Man, yeah, no, that sounded good. I don't think I'd let the drummer go that long. But you got the delay, yes, I know. I would bring it all the way back. Almost do it instantly. Let's see what it sounds like instantly. I kind of like it. It sounds like the bass would not do that part. Where's that? I want to add more notes, but Mario will be like, bro, what are you doing? I hear things. Maybe those are just other instruments. That's the other thing, okay? You could be like, man, I kind of want this thing to have, like, all these layers. Well, maybe that thing doesn't have the layers. So, like, obviously I'm, like, trying to add bass notes here because I think it needs a little bit of something else. Well, don't give it to the bassist. Try it with a different instrument. Or, like, let's get even nuts. Let's try it, like, we're going to try, like, keyboards and stuff. I don't know, maybe try violin. We can do whatever we want, right? Can't we? I think we can. But I like that rhythm. It reminds me of something like Iron Maiden would do or something like, you know. So then I just got to figure out what to do with the guitar. And it feels like it should have it should go a certain way, right? Like maybe even increase up for the first time ever. right? So if we're doing... And then do... I can hear a do... So maybe going... just changing how we do it. It feels like there should be like something to get us from that part over to the final chorus. Okay, so we have a rhythm, and I think it's with distorted guitar, so it's like, you know, I don't know, we're about to pick it up and figure it out. We're just going to let it flow here. But, you know, that's what I'm thinking. And this is why I don't start with a bass. I'm not a bassist. So we're going to unplug this, go back to the guitar. But it did give me an idea, so thank you, Dean, the boy, the legend. Thanks, Dean. Do what you do with the Deanie boy. Back to the king. King Solomon here. He's royalty, dude. Wait until he's gold. Wait until he's purple and gold, bro. It'd be nuts. Check tuning. Always check tuning. Mine as well. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. A little off. See, this is why you check tuning. It was just slightly off. See, this is clean. I can't do this because it would just be clean to me. It'd be weird, bro. But it would sound way better when we're done, but that's another day. Oops. Wrong input. Nobody listen to this. Plug this in over here. Find this chord. All right, so, you know, the bass was... I'm thinking... Bum, bum. It almost sounds like it could be fast enough for a down picking, but it'd be like really fast. This would be very tiring. Maybe if I opened it up a little bit, but that would be exhausting to be able. I know that's 120 double time. That's 240. Difficult, bro. I kind of want to see what it sounds like, though. There we go. Sure. Get them palm mutes. Oh, it's not as fast. Oh, it's like in between of being too fast and... It's like just fast enough to be... But you know, that just... I can't even keep up with it. I can't even do that. But then if you're gonna do alternate picking, you gotta nail it, bro, because it's like it doesn't sound as powerful. So then you definitely can't mess up the timing. like that. Try it again. Try to get that timing. It sounds cool though. I like the way it sounds. I gotta increase GarageBand, and it's probably gonna redline for you guys, but like I need to hear it better. So sorry if this is way too loud. It's for me though. Think of me. And then it sounds like it should go higher there. Like we're gonna make our way back to that chorus. We're getting there. I like that. Like doing the half palm unit and then just open it up. Obviously I gotta nail the timing, so I think I gotta do it one more time. But we have the bone now. The bones? We have the bones. Again. I don't know how many times to do that part, but that would be the final chorus. I was thinking like half of the time and then just getting on with it, but I just kind of wanted to set this up so I can have the drums go. Because once the drums cut off, bro, the timing's done. Once the drums are off, it might as well just stop. Just wanted to get a rough idea. We gotta move this way back, don't we? Up there. I think the bass is even off. It's gonna sound cool when I add that bass. Do 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 do. Mara's like, why do I gotta do more than you're doing? You just do. And then I kind of had a halftime thing idea here. Somewhere around here, put a halftime. Boo, boo, doo 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 doo. It's a good punch there, but no, that's not what I meant. Command T it, bring it back a little bit. I'm thinking exactly what it's doing. What is it doing here? Exactly what it's doing, but halftime. Go from double time to halftime. Is that nuts? Let me see. does it sound like a normal time? Let's set it, because we're going to just basically, we're getting the drum bones down right now, and then that way I can lay both guitars from start to finish before I pick up the bass again. Words. Boom. Final breakdown. You know how I like to bring the breakdown back again? And then right there, a hard pause, and then breakdown. Hard pause, breakdown. Something like that. Just one last of the... Bum, 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 bum. But maybe do that twice, and then the second time, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, boy. Oops. There we go. All right, I'm going to delete this because it was banned. We're going to do it again. There it is. There's the bones right freaking there. The bones right there. Kind of want to end this. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know where that last point did. Bum, bum, bum. Pop. Pop. Now, obviously, it wasn't perfect in timing, okay? I'm trying to rush through this here. So that way you people are a part of the process. We're going back, back, back in time. This should be good. That bass is going to sound sick. I'm going to mute it because I don't need it right now, but man, that's going to sound good. Duplicate the track. Throw it to the right. Again. Hopefully we nail it. hard to get those chunkies together. Like, you got to get them together instantly, right now, immediately, right off the bat. That's very difficult, okay? Especially when your stuff's not in time. All right, I know I screwed it up because I was supposed to go up, but then I kind of like the way it sounds, so I went with it. That's so funny. Because I think it would maybe, I can't tell if it would sound better up, but it sounded good there, like that. Now, this is going to be difficult to really get the timing of, especially in one take, but I'm not going to do it a million times for you people. Normally, when you're by yourself, you got nobody to please. You don't got to considerate nobody. Okay, so you just do it over and over and over again, but I'm not going to do that. Let me just hear it from my own view here. Bro. Okay, the bones are there. It obviously needs a guitar solo, but I'm not even gonna mess with that. Attempt to mess with that. Let's lay the bass for the solo and the outro, and then we'll have ourselves a whole go of a rough demo that we recorded in like less than an hour, of a song, of an idea. Doo-doo. Oh no. I thought I got unplugged. All right. Don't give me anything. I'll pick it up and start making more ideas. All right. Let's see what we would do for this part. Because I have some ideas, but I'm going to just let my heart flow. Let it flow. I was going to do. I went right into my use bass as rhythm guitar 2.0 mode. I forgot I was going to be do 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 do. Heck yeah, dude. I can't wait to hear that back in time. Just for that first part. Do 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 do. Pretty. Bring it back. There's no way I was on that time. Zoom in more. How far off was I? Not too far off. Something like this. Something like, yep, there we go. Something like that. Let's see. That transition so off. Both of those are off. Dude, I think I should redo the beginning bass because I wasn't sure what I was doing there, but other than that, I think it's ready for a complete playthrough to see what we have. This is the first rough demo of this song. Now, usually I give it a name based on the idea or the feeling or whatever. and I don't. I have like some ideas, but I guess for the demo tentative title for this, it's like inside or something like that. You know what I mean? Inside my mind, inside. Like this is like a look from the inside out or something. I don't know. Something about that. That's how it's gonna be. Let's just save it now and just put it as solidify inside song demo. Boom. Now you guys are here for Inside Song Demo, so when you watch this video later, you can be like, oh, I was there when he wrote that song. I was there when he got the bones of that song done. All right, oops, don't you move. Did that move? I don't think so. Don't move ever. All right, let's check it out. I want to chop it here, because I think I was doing some bass stuff. All right, now we get to sit back and watch the fruits of our labor. Or listen to. Let's listen to the fruits of our labor. I think it'd be even more chill of a drum beat. But I like the little jungly feel. Now, let me take away the clicks. I can tell that bass is off and I can't enjoy myself because I scooted it way too far back. Way too far back. What was I thinking? It's got to go like here. Right there. I hope there's not more parts like that. Keep going. It's like so off, it's throwing me off. I cannot get into this groove. What the heck did I do to this part? It was so off. All right, there we go. There we go. Keep going. that's definitely the bones. I'm gonna chisel away at it. I'm gonna like change the drums up a little bit, but like the core idea of the Play-Doh is there. 4 minutes and 32 seconds, perfect amount of time. I like that 4 minute sweet spot. I could reduce it a little bit, but probably not repeating the heavy part. You know, the boom, boom, boom. I probably could. Reduce that and shave off like probably put it closer to 4 minutes, which is probably. I'm sure the guys will say to do that, but I just like, man, if something sounds good, keep going, right? If it's going good, keep going. That's what I'm told, at least. So let's see here. I think that's solid. Obviously, at a solo, so you can see that solo idea in my head of how that breakdown goes, right? So it's like this is all no solo, right? Established, and then when it goes bop, and then it opens up with the open chords, that's when Dylan would take off. Bop. And then it gets the halftime. More melodic. And then that chorus, that final chorus there. There it is, people. I mean, we're just taking one thing at a time. What's next? I mean, literally, some of that stuff I made up right here, right on the spot with you people. Just let it out. And that's all it takes. Sometimes just sit down, record one thing. Everybody has one idea. If you're a musician, you got one. You're like, oh, I just got this riff. This one little riff idea. I got it. What do I do? Sit down and record it. Put some drums to it. Once you can find the drums to it, extend the drums out, and then see what that drum makes you want to feel to play next. You know what I mean? You're playing your one riff, and then you're done because you're like, okay, that's like 2 parts. Now what do I do? This is how simple it is, people. Now it gets more complicated. The next layer would be words, vocals and words. Like that stuff's difficult, okay? I mean, it's difficult, but it's also easy at the same time. It depends on how much effort you want to put into it, okay? If you want your song to be like I don't care about the words, I don't care about a message or whatever, I just want to go out there and punch or whatever, I don't know, right? And you're just like, I don't really care about that. Well, then it's easy, okay? I would still stick to a formula of rhyme schemes because, like, you can make gibberish rhyme. And people would be like bobbing their head. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's good stuff." And you're like, like Nirvana is really good about that. Like really good. Like half the words are just gibberish. He has some songs with like meanings and stuff like that. But you know, It Smells Like Teen Spirit or I mean, come on. Honestly, it feels like most of them, Breed, all that stuff. Where it's like there's certain things where it's like that makes sense, and then sometimes he's just like, I don't know. Me and lobotomy or something. It's like, and it has nothing to do with the song. You can easily do that. That'll be a different video, different lesson. So the next part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this out as it is, even though there's flaws and timing errors, and I'm going to change the drums and stuff like that. But I'm going to export it out so that way I can listen to it myself. So I'm going to go pick up Mario. We're going to band practice. I'll listen to it, and then it'll give me like, oh man, if I would have done differently, I do this part a little differently, or this part makes me want to play this part next. So now I get to hear it from the outside perspective because it's different when it's in your head, right? You're sitting there in your head and you're like, man, once I put it out on paper, but the first way you put it out on paper may not be exactly what's in your head. And then now listening to it in the real world, you go, oh, there's a lot of times where I'm like, especially when it comes to words or melodies, where I'm like, it makes sense in my head. It's like, do, 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 do. And then you go to do it live to whatever you're doing, and you're like, oh, that doesn't physically fit. Because your brain is just this infinite space of ideas and creativity. And so sometimes it thinks things would be totally normal, and then you do them in the real world, and it's not normal, and it doesn't work. It doesn't, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to export this, go listen to it, go pick up Mario. I'll see if the guys want to go live at Dylan's place, but if not, I'll try to be back on tomorrow to either continue on this song or I have more. I literally have so many song ideas. It's bonkers. I have so many riffs, but I want to refine this a little bit. If anything, maybe I can lay the vocal tracks down, but I'll have to show you how to lay vocal tracks in your car because I live in an apartment and they don't want. They're like, "What's? He's getting stabbed down there. Somebody save him!" Go to my car, nobody hears, nobody listens. So we'll see. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but thank you for joining today. Thank you for being part of this process, making this song live. Now you could say you were here when this song was made. So eventually, when you hear this song out and about in the real world, you're like, "Oh, I remember when he made that. That was crazy." So thanks for joining me today, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Good day.